Hey everybody, just got off playing yet another Age of Sigmar battle, and fucking game has problems. Like we keep refining it and trying to fix it, but whatever. I need to wind down with some Fallout
Over
Equestria.
the monorails. Through the arch, we could finally see Ten Pony Tower in its surprisingly well-preserved splendor. We'd been catching glimpses of it above and between the buildings for hours, but only now could we really take in the size and ornateness of the structure. Light glowed behind more than half of the windows, most of which bore fractures but were fully intact. The building narrowed every dozen stories with a level ringed by a patio balcony, the fencing around each spotted with crude repair. One whole side of Ten Pony Tower was blackened and sagging, bulwarked by patchwork reinforcements added over the post-apocalyptic decades. The original name of the building had collapsed into the cobblestone courtyard below. A huge radio broadcast tower rose from the roof towards the sky. The monorails passed under the archway, which would once have been dazzling in the sun, and right up to Ten Pony Tower, where they ran through a 4-stars embarking station built into the side of the tower many stories above the ground. From the tarnished arch hung a sign proclaiming, Ministry of Arcane Science, Manhattan Hub. Entering the station, we saw guard ponies barricaded behind massive steel walls, watching our approach through narrow slits as they followed our progress with their guns. The walls of the station were decorated with life-size paintings of ponies. Once, the paintings had been protected by magical fields of energy similar to Velvet Remedy's spell.
Alright.
Now, most of the paintings were blackened, damaged, or defaced beyond repair, the shields having failed and the gemstones which held their enchantments stolen. All save for one, a painting of a familiar purple unicorn, the once pink and violet stripes of her mane mostly changed to gray.
I was about to say, who would have been alive to steal them? But I guess the gems could have survived the nuclear explosions without shattering or being burned away. So, yeah, or whatever the hell happens to gemstones.
I hopped onto the sidewalk that ran along the wall, giving the painting a closer look. The edges were charred and the paint had blistered in the heat, but the protective field still held. The others paused, watching me, but I waved them on. I just want to look. I'll catch up. Each of my companions nodded and trotted on, none of them seeming to possess my curiosity. While no spring filly,
That's why they'll never be as skilled as you. They ain't getting that XP.
Twilight Sparkle at least looked a decade younger in this painting than in the memory of Pinkie Pie's last party, and considerably happier. She was surrounded by crisp autumn colors, a number of hazy, barely rendered ponies creating colorful blotches around her in the background. Her cutie mark was hidden, covered by a flank blanket bearing the number 10. The running of the leaves. A voice announced from behind me, startling me so badly I nearly jumped back to my death. I turned to glare at the sprite bot which had seemed to materialize out of nowhere. Twilight Sparkle ran it every year in Ponyville. Never won. To me, the mechanical voice sounded nostalgic. That was until the Ministry demanded all of her time. I gazed at the purple pony with the 10 on her flank. Then I looked up to the mostly intact skyscraper which had once been the Ministry of Magic Hub. The massive letters that once advertised its name fallen and shattered onto the ground below. And then I looked back. I smiled. Turning to the sprite bot. How did you know Twi... But with the crackle of static, Watcher was gone, the sprite bot suddenly spewing tuba music. I scowled as I watched the spherical robot bob away. Was it
What a
just
dick.
me, or were the conversations with Watcher getting shorter? Ponies don't simply walk into Ten Pony Tower, the guard pony informed us, scowling through an armored window as he spoke through the intercom. The words "No Zombies" were painted across the gate in huge red letters. We have business with DJ Pony, Velvet Remedy stated loftily. Although, if you want to explain to him that you turned us away... DJ Pony's expecting you, then? Absolutely, Velvet Remedy lied silkily. And if I were you, I would not keep him waiting. All of you? The voice was skeptical. Velvet Remedy gave an overly dramatic sigh. This is my bodyguard, she claimed, pointing to Calamity. And I'm sure you recognize a member of the Steel Rangers. I do. And... Velvet Remedy looked to me and seemed to draw a blank. Hastily, I offered. Toaster repair pony.
Yep.
Every pony gave me a strange look.
It's so ridiculous, they have
Blisters on
to
the
believe
fritz.
it.
Velvet Remedy looked pained. The guard contemplated us silently. Finally, Velvet Remedy said, "Look, as much as I'd love to just stand here outside while you get in trouble for not letting us in, it is getting dark. Would 100 bottle caps help move this along?" 200.
Oh, that's
125. And I don't tell DJ Pony that you tried to exhort his guests. Fine. The gun slot opened in the door. "Slide the caps through, then you can come in." I started pulling out and counting bottle caps. I was going to have to start bundling them into small pouches of 20 to make this sort of thing easier.
Oh, yeah.
200 was a large chunk of the bottle caps we'd managed to acquire, but I wasn't worried. We had plenty of guns and ammo to sell once inside. "Oh," the guard added, "and you'll have to disarm before passing through the checkpoint." Stick a horn? "Y'all ain't getting my battle saddle unless you pry it off my cold dead." The guard scoffed. "Wouldn't expect to. You don't have to turn in your firearms and battle saddles. Just your ammo. All of it." I raised my eyebrows in surprise. Unexpected. That also severely cut our trade goods, but at least left us with the more expensive and heavier objects to sell off. As we passed through the checkpoint, a unicorn stepped out of the guard post and waved her horn over us. Every clip, bullet, grenade, and missile flashed visibly, even through Steelhoof's metal armor. "Toast repair pony," she repeated with a demure smile as her gaze passed over my sniper rifle, combat shotgun, zebra rifle,
Yeah!
Colt carbine.
That's a fucking
I
armory.
face-oofed. "And a Steel Ranger?" she asked as she removed the missiles from the left side of Steelhoof's battle saddle. "And what is your story?" Steelhoof's whinnied. "I'm just here to make sure you don't have any more nasty ghoul problems." "Oh, that is no longer a concern," she smiled. "But thank you for the concern." "Indeed. Can't have filthy ghouls just walking in anywhere." Calamity was shooting Steelhoof's dark looks. Velvet Remedy nickered under her breath, just loud enough to make sure she was heard. "Oh yes, they're unsightly things. Can't imagine anything worse. Except maybe a Colt killer." Calamity neighed and rolled his eyes, lowering the brim of his hat.
Oh,
In
fuck
minutes,
you,
we
Velvet.
were divested of all of our ammunition. "You all
Although
get these
that
back
might
when
have
you
been
leave."
just...
The unicorn
No,
promised
that wasn't
grimly as she
needed,
collected
'cause-
it all and floated it into the guardhouse. "I feel strangely naked," Calamity complained. "At least my weapons had only been reduced to fancy clubs." "You can
That's why
probably
you
buy
take
some rubber
strength,
bullets
in
from
case
Chief
shit like this
Grimstar if you
happens.
feel you really need to."
Just
The unicorn
fucking
informed
pick up
us
a
as the
table
guardhouse
leg.
door slid shut behind her. Calamity and I exchanged surprised looks. It was the first I'd heard of any pony utilizing non-lethal ordnance. There was a loud clank as something released inside the ornate armored double doors in front of us. They opened, swinging inwards and revealing the marbled chandelier-lit station lobby of 10 Pony Tower. We were getting looks. The idea of high society was completely foreign to me. We'd had nothing like this sort of bizarre elitism in Stable 2. The wasteland was a dirty, broken, rusted place that was completely at odds with this stuffy behavior. The only reason a pony might walk around with their nose in the air in places like New Appaloosa was because they didn't want to smell what they were walking in. "Let us hurry and find a place to make bed," the Velvet Remedy pushed. "I need a bath." "Hell, these folks make me feel like I need a bath," Calamity said, his head low, feeling the weight of all the stairs.
Oh, no, don't do that,
You
man.
do.
Keep it high.
I nodded.
You can
wondering
take
just how
all
we would
these
find
people
place
on
to
a
stay.
fight.
We were walking across a mezzanine filled with high-class shops, or at least high-class relative to the rest of Equestrian Wasteland. If we wanted...
What do these people do for money? Like, that's something I always wondered about in Fallout 3 with 10 Penny Tower. Like, we know what the owner does. All these people be paying him caps. But what do the people who live there do for money? I mean, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of, maybe there is. I mean, maybe there is, like, trade and traffic and stuff. Although, given how gated and isolated it is, and how it's close to an infested little shithole of a town, or what's left of Manhattan, right? I think it's Manhattan. It doesn't really sound like the kind of place you expect caravans to be passing through, or being sent from, or controlled from. Makes me wonder what the hell they do. Also, so they got kind of like a while, like chapters ago. They had this like little player house, like stronghold. They did some improvements there, right? Like they were saying I think they were saying like some farm stuff, and they installed a plasma cannon. I remember that. Are they ever going to go back there? Like, it's a long story. We're only on chapter 16, so they totally could. But are they going to go back there? I mean, they installed a plasma cannon. You don't install a plasma cannon someplace unless you intend to use it, and you don't just leave and abandon your player house like that. I kind of expect them to go back, unless you just forgot about K-Cat. Like, I know that happened to some authors. Like, they do some, like, oh god, George R.R. Martin and his Game of Thrones. Great guy. Well, pretty good story. Not the best story, but a pretty good story. Oh, jeez. He needs to get an author Bible so he stops fucking shit up. Like, wow. Oh, well, like, I hope they go back. I mean, they took time on that place.
To buy or sell anything here, Velvet Remedy had her work cut out for her. I suspected that she was the only one here with enough mercantile savoir-faire to get these ponies to even talk to her. Velvet Remedy seemed to read my mind. Once we've bathed and rested, we should split up. I'll take our goods to sell first thing in the morning, and then purchase us some new formal wear that will help us blend in. Little Pip, you should look into meeting with DJ Pony. I agreed. I want to find a workshop. I want to modify my battle saddle. Till traveling with Little Pip, I never had any more than one type of ammo.
Like,
want to set up a...
How long was this before Fallout 4? Like, called it.
quick way to swap between ammo types. Be nice to be able to use rubber bullets when situation calls for it. He looked at Velvet Remedy and me. Y'all should give me a gun so I can do some proper maintenance while I'm at it. Velvet Remedy floated her needler pistol over to him. Situations like shooting a colt, perhaps.
Fuck
Calamity
you!
neighed. Nope. I see a raider, I'm gonna take him down. The rust-colored pony stared defiantly at Velvet Remedy, proudly insisting. It's my policy.
Damn straight!
It was a child, Velvet Remedy hissed, giving a stomp. I looked around. My companions were beginning to make a scene. Maybe we should save this for... Any pony who chooses to be a filthy murdering raider gets tried and perforated as an adult, Calamity asserted. And you think a coulter filly in that situation had any actual choice? Calamity's eyes narrowed as he cocked his head. Well, maybe not. Damn tragedy. But that don't mean I'm gonna give him a free pass to rape and murder till he gets his cutie mark. His would-be future victims don't deserve that. Calamity's voice was rising dangerously. In case you don't notice, my little rapist down there. Shut up, I finally ordered. I swear to the goddesses, I'm going to put both of you in corners. Velvet Remedy and Calamity both bristled.
Velvet
but the
Remedy?
interruption was enough to get them
What?
to look around and realize that this was not the place to be having that particular fight. The two of them remained silent for the rest of the evening while I found us a place at the Golden Tails Luxury Suites. It was a beautiful room, the marble walls only slightly cracked. The twin bathtubs were only lightly stained, and the sheets and beds were not too worn or frayed. I probably paid double what Velvet Remedy would have gotten it for, but I was happy just to get them away from the public. Tempers were more even the next morning. We had all bathed and washed our clothing. Calamity spent the first part of the morning sewing and patching our armor. My armored utility barding had been crusted with blood and punctured with bullet holes. Meanwhile, Velvet Remedy packed up all the weapons and scavenged items for trade and headed out before the stores were open, waiting to look over her options. I spent the morning hungry. We decided that we would wait until Velvet Remedy returned with proper 10-pony attire before heading out to buy food. There were several swanky-looking restaurants that we had passed on our way to the Golden Tail Luxury Suites, and I was sick of canned and boxed pre-war food, which, as Velvet...
Like, I try to see all the sides in a argument and conversation, but just fuck you, Velvet Remedy. Like, okay, I can't say... If I was in Calamity's place, I can't say I would have shot, because I don't know. I haven't been in that situation, and thank God I have not been in that situation. But I think I would have, because I don't see that person as a child. I don't. I would see them as a rapist, torturer, and murderer. So while I'm not sure what I would do, I would have taken the shot, and I'm 100%. I think I would have taken the shot. I believe I would have, and I am 100% behind Calamity. Velvet, she just pisses me off this whole story. Like, the whole damn story. Wow.
But it reminded us
Does
we
she
were
get
almost
better?
out and we need to stock
Does
up
she
on.
get better?
I took the chance to relax, laying on one of the beds and reading. I'd nearly finished all of the books I had collected, and I had contemplated giving most of them to Velvet Remedy to sell. But, in the end, I decided that I would rather keep them back at my Junction R7 home. Start a library. When Velvet returned, bringing us all new clothing, even a stately cloak for Steelhooves, I nearly fell out of bed at the sight of her. She'd treated herself to new coiffure and a pony petty, and she was wearing a classy new dress with matching new jewelry along with a demure touch of blush. She flooded her longer than ever eyelashes at me, and I felt faint. Part of me hated her for making me want her so much. Wow,
That's not her
Velvet,
fault.
you
Well,
look.
Yeah.
Calamity flushed, looking a little overheated, but he stammered something about hoping she had saved enough bottle caps for us to have breakfast. She turned her nose up at him. Of course I did. Looking to me, she broke into a cheerful grin, clapping her hoofs together. And we have plenty extra to do a little shopping. What do they have? Velvet Remedy smirked, rolling her eyes.
What did you sell?
Oh, you wouldn't believe. These ponies have taken full of themselves to a whole new level. She snickered. 2 floors down, there's a shop that sells only cheese. Right across from a shop that sells only wine. As classy as she could be, Velvet Remedy didn't put any more value in being snobbish than the rest of us. But of course, half the fun of shopping is just looking. Why, was there something you were looking for?
True. That
Some
is
new
half the
books
fun.
and rubber bullets. Velvet Remedy sighed.
Little Pizza Girl at
The
my
restaurant
heart.
was classy.
It's all
and
about
filled
that
with
ammo
pink-looking
and guns.
ponies. I looked at my plate of food
And
with a touch
armor.
of depression.
Armor is the coolest.
I don't know why I had expected much more. It wasn't as if the ponies of Ten Pony Tower were farmers with fields of fresh grains. Instead, we got the same pre-war foods, only cooked in new ways and served in tiny but artistic proportions. It didn't take long to eat, and I was still hungry. After breakfast, we split up. Calamity and Steelhooves went to find Chief Grimstar, hoping to...
How long is this place going to actually last? Because only pre-war stuff. And... We'll see.
purchase bullets and possibly a suit of armored barding more suitable for Velvet Remedy. The Zebra Legionnaire suit was stored away in Steelhooves' packs. Velvet Remedy didn't feel right wearing it, especially as she walked over the graves of countless ponies the zebras had murdered, and I didn't blame her. But I hated to just leave it or sell it when it could be useful. Velvet and I went to purchase supplies. Food was a high priority, especially since I had no intention of eating at a restaurant again for as long as we were here. Looking at the rows of cans and boxes and fine edibles, I cringed at the prices. Maybe we should just get the minimum we will need for the next couple days. We're bound to find more if we do a bit of scavenging.
Yep.
Velvet Remedy agreed, but only because she had other intentions for the caps we would save by doing so. We stocked up lightly, then I watched as Velvet Remedy haggled with the shop clerk until she got us a discount. As soon as we left Fine Edibles, I found myself being shoved into a spa where Velvet Remedy absolutely insisted we both get full-body treatments. I was resistant at first, but as I began to unwind in the steam room, feeling muscles loosen that had probably been tight since my last night in the stable, I found myself letting out a grand sigh of relief. A couple of delightful spa ponies gave us an absolutely heavenly massage. This was easily the best caps I'd ever spent. And, truth be told, the spa mare hoofing my back was beginning to really turn me on.
Oh.
I heard that Fluttershy went to one of these places every week with my add a bunch of greats here, grand aunt. Velvet Remedy confided as the lovely spa pony rubbed her hooves on my shoulders. I suddenly felt extra awkward. Later, as we lounged in a mud bath, my eye spotted a book sitting alone on a counter. Curious, I floated over to take a look.
Radiated mud
Principles
bath.
of Proper Pony Speech, I read aloud. Refining how we think by refining how we speak. I opened the book and looked down at the title page. At the bottom, in small words, Official Guidelines from the Ministry of Image. I decided to ask the spa pony if I could buy the book.
No.
We were returning to our room
Even
after the most delightful morning I
rarity.
had probably had ever.
is
and
going
my
down
attention
the...
was focused on slipping my newly purchased book into my saddlebags when I collided with a stallion who was backing out of the cheese shop, knocking him over. My book fell on the floor, along with a number of boxes full of cheese. I recovered and began to offer him apologies and assistance when my eyes fell on the cheese-shaped cutie mark on his beige flank. You? Monterey Jack stood up, dusting himself off. Oh, it's you. A short gray unicorn wearing a refined full barding trotted out and looked at the scattered cheese, then at us. Is there a problem here? Yeah, this pony tried to rob me, after I saved his life. Now, I was the one creating a scene. And I didn't care. Velvet Remedy was staring. Monterey Jack started picking up the boxes of cheese, lifting them with his teeth by their wrapping strings. He ignored me like I was some small yapping animal. Is that true? The gray unicorn asked, looking to Monterey Jack. Monterey just snorted and finished sacking the cheese boxes, then focused, floating them towards the gray unicorn in the suit. Sorry about that, Homage. I'll credit your account 10% for the rough handling. Yes, it's true, I supplied for the beige unicorn. Of course his cutie mark looked like cheese. Monterey Jack ran the cheese shop.
Wow.
A guard pony in old
How the fuck
MAS
did he get
security
here?
armor and an LSW battle saddle was walking towards us. Turning towards him, I pointed at Monterey. Sir, I'd like this pony arrested. The guard pony looked both of us up and down. On what charge? Attempted robbery. The guard chuckled. Monterey Jack's prices might be steep, but that's a stretch. I shook my head. No, I rescued him from raiders and he repaid me by trying to rob me. Turning a glare on Monterey Jack, I added, They were going to shoot your hooves off, if I remember correctly. Maybe I should have let them. The guard looked at me skeptically. When was this? I paused, then double-checked the date on my pit buck. 3 weeks ago. Had it really only been that long? I felt like I'd been outside a lot longer.
Yeah.
Sorry, the guard said finally. But it's your word against his, and frankly, seeing as how you aren't a 10-pony citizen, your word doesn't mean much here. I fumed. You mean he gets away with it? A little Pip, Velvet Remedy said softly, putting a calming hoof on my shoulder. Put it in the past. He may have tried to rob you, but he didn't succeed.
Only
I
because...
shrugged her off with a hoof and rounded on Monterey Jack. So, you're just gonna stand there and deny it, are you? Well, No, he said firmly. Am not going to... Wait. What? Monterey? Homage was looking at the beige cheese shop unicorn, her purchases momentarily forgotten. The guard pony had suddenly stiffened. I had 2 colts and a filly to look after. I had to make it home safely, and those supplies would have been wasted on you. You weren't even smart enough to loot the corpses. You wouldn't have survived the week. Clearly not, Velvet Remedy deadpanned. Monterey Jack, the guard said seriously, do you realize what you're admitting here? Monterey Jack snorted, staring at me. I'm not a liar, and I'm not ashamed of what I tried to do. Making sure my children still have a father is more important to me than some foolish little stranger who doesn't have the good sense not to walk into a slaver camp. He looked to the guard. After Clarinet was killed, I'm all they have left. The guard pony neighed. Well, probably not anymore. You know the law. Banditry will get you executed. Wait. What?
What were you expecting, dumbass?
The guard clamped the bit on his battle saddle, and I heard the light support weapon reload. Sorry, Monterey Jack, but you're gonna have to come with me. I've changed my mind. I'm not pressing charges. Nothing happened. The guard scowled at me. Sorry, kid, but it's your word against his. And like I said, your non-citizen word doesn't mean the dirt on my hoof around here. I paced back and forth outside the elevator. This was insane. They couldn't kill a pony for trying and failing to rob some pony, could they? God,
Why the
sis,
fuck
why
not?
didn't I just keep my stupid mouth shut? The elevator doors opened. I'd left Velvet Remedy looking into the laws of 10-Pony Tower, hoping she could find something while I attempted to talk to DJ Pony. Stepping into the elevator, I added this to the list of things that I wanted to ask him about. For that matter, why couldn't Monterey Jack have just kept his own mouth shut? In the equestrian wasteland, honesty was not always a virtue. The elevator began to glide upwards. I took a deep breath. I was about to meet DJ Pony.
Monterey Jack's kind of a
wondered what to
dumbass,
expect.
and he needs to...
I hope
And
he'd be
he
willing to
kind
talk
of
to
deserves
me.
to die for
If
that
not, then
reason.
this would have been one long
Like,
walk for nothing.
Okay,
Well,
okay. I don't really wish death on him. He's kind of just too stupid to live. Like, she wouldn't last more than a week with those supplies. She's right there in front of you, you dumbass. And you say you're worried about your kids to the point you would rob a pony that saved your life, yet you clearly don't care about them enough. Like, even Applejack, the element of honesty herself, lies. This guy's just stupid. He's really stupid. Like, that's not a virtue. That's just Darwin Award.
no.
Like, come on.
It was a long walk for a spa treatment. Actually, still somewhat worth it. The doors opened, and I stepped out into a rich marble foyer, the center of which was dominated by a water fountain. A huge alicorn made of age-darkened brass reared up before me, wings spread out over the foyer. The necklace around the alicorn's neck bore a water talisman with a large sapphire set into the center. Thanks to the talisman, the fountain still flowed with fresh, clean water, even 200 years after the apocalypse. I remembered the pure, non-irradiated water we had enjoyed in our baths and in the spa, and I wondered just how many water talismans the MAS hub had, and how many could benefit from them if they weren't all hoarded together in this one place. Stairs wrapped around the floor to a mezzanine
robbery.
level.
Get the payday,
Inside
boys.
the balcony were matching bronze letters: Ministry of Arcane Science, Manhattan. Beyond the fountain was a large set of double doors bearing the title, Twilight Sparkle Athenium. Above on the mezzanine was a second, nearly identical set of double doors. MAS Emergency Broadcast Station, authorized unicorns only. I took a deep breath and stepped towards the stairs. A second pair of elevator doors slid open behind me. I turned to see the gray unicorn mare, Homage, step out and look around. I smiled, trying not to look too nervous. "You're here to see DJ Pony too?" The other unicorn nodded. She was about my size, the only other adult pony I'd seen who was born with a similar small frame. I waved a hoof for her to go first. She was a citizen, after all. When we reached the landing, the double doors to the MAS EBS swung open silently, making me think of the wild tale of Manhattan ghosts the traveling merchant had told us about. Inside were multiple mainframes and walls of computer screens giving a bird's-eye view of the vast majority of the equestrian wasteland as far as I could tell. Homage clopped past me as I stopped to stare. Searching about, I spotted New Appaloosa on one of them. "Impressive, isn't it?" Homage asked.
Fuck, who's Homage
I
again?
nodded, noticing that while most screens had clear, sharp images, several flickered and suffered odd distortions, and one large set of screens was dead black. "You've been here before?"
Fuck, who's Homage again?
"Oh, a few times." She walked over to a bank of buttons and lights, raising a hoof to press one. She turned and trotted back towards the center of the room where a microphone was raising from the floor. Homage's horn glowed and her voice changed by magic. "Good morning, Wastelanders."
Oh,
Homage cried into the
motherfucker!
mic, her voice now male and very
Also,
familiar.
have we met Homage?
"How is every pony doing? This is your pal,
Have we
DJ
met her?
Pony, and, well, it's that time again. That's right, time for some news." I fell to my haunches, staring as the little gray unicorn's voice belted over the airwaves. "I heard a rumor that Monterey Jack, cheese shop owner in that oh-so-hoity-toity 10-pony tower, has been arrested for deciding that being a thieving jackass is the appropriate response to an act of kindness. Remember what I keep telling you, my little ponies. Treat each other with kindness and respect.
That's good.
Or don't, and watch it come back to bite you in the tail. In other news, some ponies finally arrived to fix my toaster. Hallelujah, it's breakfast time. Here's little Sapphire Shores to get you through the morning." 10 minutes later, I stood on the windswept roof of 10-Pony Tower as Homage made a refining adjustment to the gemstone set in the center of one of the dishes on the broadcast tower. I stared out over the gray labyrinth of Manhattan. From here, I could see another Ministry hub building which was considerably worse for wear, Horseshoe Tower.
Okay,
Even the pony friendship out in the harbor.
I knew DJ Pony
Breathtaking blue
was a
ocean stretched
girl.
out
I
into the
knew
water
that. That was
vanished under
spoiled.
offshore
I haven't.
fog.
But fuck,
Ironic,
who's
isn't it?
Homage?
Homage asked, her voice no longer
Like,
that
when
of
did we
DJ
meet
Pony.
her?
"I'm told that statue was a gift from the zebra folks generations before the war." I turned to look at her, but caught sight of something far off on the horizon that grabbed my attention. A needle-like white tower rose all the way into the clouds. I blinked, realizing I'd seen it before, but not over there. Before, when I'd spotted it in the distance, it was. I turned to look out in the direction I knew the tower should have been and saw. There were two of them.
I'm seriously racking my
I
brain.
pulled out my
Like, I
binoculars
feel
and slowly
stupid.
turned, scanning the horizon. Far off,
I'm not
protruding from
stupid.
the mountains near old Appaloosa,
Like, oh my
I
God,
spotted
when-
the third.
Have I just
How
missed
many
a
of these towers
character?
were there? I see you've spotted them, Homage said casually. I lowered the binoculars.
Oh my God.
What are they? No idea, Homage admitted. Something pre-war and really sophisticated. What I do know is that each one has a station house at the base and observation eyes about a third of the way up. DJ Pony managed to hack into one of them. Between those eyes and reports from loyal listeners, every DJ Pony since has been able to keep ponies informed about dangers, uplifted by tales of heroes and generally appraised of what goes on in the wasteland.
Oh my God, is that
And it gives
Australian
them beautiful
accent?
music to help make life out there more bearable. It's all I can do to help every pony, but I figure the most I
That's
can do is
adorable.
the least I can do.
I
looked
imagine
onward
the
with
female
amazement,
version
wonder,
would be
and
adorable.
reverence. You, on the other hoof, it seems can do a lot more. And so, I'd like your help.
Oh, is that it? Okay, pause. Okay. God damn it. I don't remember Homage being mentioned at all during this chapter. I'm worried I'm seriously forgetting important things now. Oh. Anyways, Little Pip leveled up again. I don't even know what the fuck she did. That. Oh, okay, yeah, that was a raider fight. So, yeah. New perk. How we do it down on the farm. Oh. In combat, your critical hits are more devastating. Your damage from critical hits, including sneak attack criticals, is increased by 50%. That does not affect the chance to cause a critical. Okay. Go ahead and tell me where the hell Homage appears in this chapter, because, wow, where, just came out of nowhere there. Right, okay. Yeah, I already knew that DJ Pony was a girl. That was spoiled for me. There's fan art everywhere. All right. I see you next time. Like, I'll probably make another video tomorrow because there's some stuff I want to talk about, but I decided to finish this chapter first. Okay, I'm seriously racking my brain for when the fuck did Homage first appear?